I'd be like, hey, baby, I'm gonna go work out real quick. And I would go to the gym and then I would knock right on the AP door. Hey, you guys got any watches? And after about day 3, I think they were like, yo, this guy is so annoying. Just give him a Royal Oak.
Tobias Harris, welcome to Talking Watches.
Well, first off, since we're doing this, I've officially made it in the watch industry and game, so this is an honor to be here. Thank you.
We're so thrilled to have you. We are here in the Fittler Club in Philadelphia, where you play a little basketball.
Yeah.
In the corner for the lead, Harris!
Came straight from practice. How was it?
It was good.
Good.
We had a tough day, but a good day.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive into this. You have this incredible collection of watches. Which one here kind of got you into building this collection?
Let's start it off with presidential Rolex, right? So this is like my first big time purchase of a watch. And I'm not ashamed to say this, but before I purchased this watch, I was rocking a fake Rolex for some time, right? And I had a very good friend, family friend of mine, who said to me, Tobias, you should not be rocking a fake Rolex. And I was like, why? Nobody can tell. And she was like, no, people who have real Rolexes can tell. And then I got a real Rolex and I could spot a fake Rolex from a mile away. So now I knew exactly what she was referring to. But growing up, my father had this watch and this was like a dream. Like you see professional athletes and people, successful people in business have this watch. So for me, I purchased this watch in Orlando after I signed my deal, my first extension of a deal. And it was basically like a gift for myself that I always had my eye on. And I said that when I sign this deal, I'm gonna buy my mom and dad the cars that they want, and I'm gonna get myself the Rolex that I want.
Tell me a bit about the dial.
So obviously, like, you know, I have the Roman numerals here, and that was a big thing for me, like, was the face as well. I wanted to keep the color combo in sync, and rose gold was just what I had an attraction for at the time. It's like flashy, but also, you know, elegant for me as well. And when I first got this, I may have wore this like everywhere for the first year, right? Like, no matter what, go to the gym, I'm wearing my Rolex, go to the game, go out to eat dinner. It was a piece that allowed me to see a lot of my success in the workspace that I was in. Yeah, so I love this one.
What came next? There's kind of an interesting follow-up here.
So like I had this, high profile watch that I love. And then I just said to myself, okay, like when you spend close to 40 grand on a watch and being a young player, it's like, all right, don't spend all your money on watches. So then I started to say, okay, what type of watches can I get into and can I buy that I can wear every day and kind of love and still be comfortable in. From Orlando, I got shipped off and traded to Detroit. So I was able to, really embrace the Shinola brand, right? And, I played in Detroit for almost 3.5 years. I met my wife in Detroit as well. She's from Detroit. And I fell in love with the brand. One of my first, real interactions in the watch space was going to their headquarters in downtown Detroit, seeing how they did things, meeting the team, and really just discovering what type of brand they were. So this is my Shinola watch, which is, for me, it's like I can wear this whenever I want, whether I'm going out to eat lunch or out to dinner. It's a little sporty feel. Sometimes I don't like to have all the flashy things on. And I love how the brand is. I have a domino set from Shinola. Also have a Monopoly board from Shinola that I'm undefeated on. And I thought I need to say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a brand that I fell in love with and I really like.
Now this next one connects with a hobby of yours that doesn't have anything to do with basketball.
No.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, so a huge hobby of mine is whale watching. Every summer, I take a trip out to San Diego, and I link up with a buddy of mine named Dom, and we take this trip out. Like, we're probably on a boat for we're just going out in San Diego all the way out for about 2 hours, and we just sit around and we wait and we wait for whales to pop up. I know we're talking watches, but now I'm talking whales.
Welcome to Talking Whales with Tobias Harris.
Talking whales. Right, so this watch right here, like, is just something like, for me, when I saw it, I was like, oh, I want this because I love orcas, love whales, and it's powered by the light. And when I go out on those trips, this is what I wear.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that this watch is so playful, but also, as you mentioned, the powered by light with the eco drive. It's just kind of very functionally interesting, too.
It is, yeah.
Let's talk about another cool American brand, this Bulova that you've got.
Yes. So my grandfather, he was a Tuskegee Airman, right? And Tuskegee Airmen was a group of African-American pilots during World War II. And this watch is considered the watch that won the war. And, you know, for Tuskegee Airmen during the time, they had to be in sync. So because of the hacking feature, you know, that allowed the pilots to sync up right down to the second. Just a cool feature. And I think for me, that's always, like, the details are big. And to see those details and to still, you know, not take them for granted today is important. Bulova, it's a New York brand. I'm a Long Island kid. My grandfather, when he would go out, his dress-up watch was a Bulova.
Nice.
So that was one thing he told myself and my brothers and sisters when we were kids and growing up. May he rest in peace. But he left a huge legacy. And for me to have something that reminds me of him from time to time is important. And I think, like, when you look at the history of the watch and what it's about, it fits right in line to his legacy and who he was as a person. So this watch always will hold, like, probably the most significant value outside of, like, you know, my first or my last, but it's like one of the ones that means the most to me.
You have another family connection in this one.
Yep. So, okay. So this is the Accutron, and I talked about before, like, my dad, this was his NIT watch. And, you know, Accutron is the first electronic watch ever. And, like, even if you just take a listen, right? So it's like, for him being a young player, maybe, you know, I haven't asked him this, but maybe this got him into the watch game at that time. But obviously, my father played basketball. He put the basketball in my hands as well. He played college basketball. So for me, it was like, to still have his watch, and a watch that was early on in his basketball career, it means a lot. And so this is this Accutron, and then we go from where past meets present. What I love about this right here is, one, the whole movement of it.
Yeah.
And kind of like how dynamic it is and how literally everything is going on inside of this watch that I think is beautiful to look at. But it's an eye popper, and it also comes with this box of cigars.
Nice.
And I smoke a cigar from time to time. It's like meditation for me to be able to relax and sit back and smoke a cigar. So, like, all these things kind of came together when I was able to get this watch, you know, from my father having an Accutron as his NIT watch, to being able to pair it with something that I like in smoking cigars. So, and seeing all the movements and what goes on, I thought was really cool and neat too.
Let's pop back into the land of Rolex. Tell me about this one.
Okay, so this is one of my favorites, if not like my favorite, mainly because of the backstory of it. So I'm about to get married, and I'm like, people, like married couples, they do a watch thing, right? So I was like, you know what? How about I get me and my wife a Rolex, right? So I make a call and I'm on the phone with Hamilton Jewels in Princeton, New Jersey. And they say, okay, well, just come up, let's have a conversation and we'll see what we get. And I walk in there, they said, hey, we have 2 great watches for the both of you. I love here the black dial.
Yeah.
But you have this little arch here, this V. And like when I first was looking at the watch, I was like, is it cracked? And she was like, no. It's like kind of like how they made them. And then I was like, it's beautiful. And she was like, why? And I was like, it's because it shows me like in life, it's a flow. And like there's going to be peaks and valleys. And it's to always look on the positive side of things. And that's how I live my life. And I thought that was a beautiful thing about this watch for me that resonated.
All right, let's talk about this bad boy right here.
So I get my Vacheron, and now every NBA player wants a Vacheron, but we're not even going to go there. But it was, for me, what I loved about it was how you can, obviously, like, you see, like the bracelet comes off, and then now I could put the sportier bracelet on as well, right? The sportier band on. And I just thought it was very cool. Like when I came into the arena and practiced the next day, and guys were like, what type of watch is that? And I was like, a Vacheron. And then the next day I come in with the rubber band, and they're like, you got another watch? And I was like, no, it's just one watch. So I thought that was really unique about it. I wear it all the time, and it's one of my favorites to put on for anything, really.
Mm-hmm. You can tell that you, in handling these watches, that you actually wear them, that you put them through their paces and aren't too precious about it.
No, see, I'm gonna wear my watches. I understand where people have their watches and hold them from time to time, but I like to always have my watches in a rotation of what I'm gonna wear. I think the beauty of watches sometimes, like, they bring out another side of you. Like when I put on my baby, my original, my firstborn, I'm like, okay, it's, you know what time it is. Like this is like, you sign a great deal, you made it into the profession you're in and whatnot. And, when I'm able to pull out a watch like this is the marriage watch of like, I'm representing myself, my wife, my family, everything. So watches bring out another side of a person. And when I put on that, oh man.
Now what is this?
That's the Bugatti right there.
Just beautiful.
It's flawless.
I'm going to ask the question everyone watching this is going to want to know. How did you get this?
That watch is a long time coming. You hear about wait lists and everything, but I've been calling around for years to try to get my hands on that. This watch I was able to get from Hamilton Jewels as well. When they had called and said, hey, we have something special for you. I didn't even ask what it was. I said, tell me the date and the time, and I'm there. And myself and wife, we went up there, and it was like, when this came out the box, I was appreciative of anything, but when this came out, I was like, whoa. I was like, yo. I was lost for words.
Yeah.
Because like just the bracelet, the way that it sits, it's literally flawless in the movements, just in honestly the angles and the curves on it as well. Like you couldn't ask for any better.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit. I heard a rumor that this Vacheron actually kind of like opened the door for another watch in your collection.
So the Royal Oak, I was on my honeymoon in Capri, and you would have thought that I was in Capri to buy watches because I was knocking on that AP door every morning. I'd be like, hey, baby, I'm gonna go work out real quick. And I would go to the gym, and then I would knock right on the AP door. Hey, you guys got any watches? And after about day 3, I think they were like, yo, this guy is so annoying. Just give him a Royal Oak. And I was able to get one.
I have to get Royal Oak levels of annoying.
Yeah, see? I mean, I just kept on knocking on that door, and lo and behold, like, I was able to walk away with an AP there.
It's so interesting to see like how there's value in every single one of these watches, from like incredibly detailed, high horology and watchmaking too, like the story of this Shinola and how the company and their ability to make you at home in Detroit.
Yeah.
They all sit at the same table. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to be a professional athlete, makes X amount of dollars, and only has to wear high-end watches. You can really still be able to move in different spaces and have a conversation with whoever. You know, I get a lot of compliments on my Shinola, not as much as my Patek, but I get still a lot of compliments as well. And the big thing is that they mean something to me. So anytime that I'm wearing them or out with them, I know inside what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.